Millones de personas en el mundo crecimos viendo Toy Story.
I did too. I grew up with all of them.
Yeah, were you involved in the five?
Yeah, I've written on all of them. Yeah.
Ha escrito en todas las películas.
Yeah, I learned my first movie, and I learned to write on Toy Story. Yeah.
But this is the first one that you direct. ¿Es la primera que
it's I've directed many things.
Ha dirigido muchas cosas. Yeah, you directed Wall-E, right?
Yeah, and Finding Nemo, and I've directed other things, I think it's just taken 30 years for the writing line to meet the directing line for Toy Story.
Es un gran reto because the world has changed. Now, kids are, unfortunately, they're not playing with toys anymore. They're playing with tablets.
I mean, they're still playing with toys, but they're switching sooner. They're younger and younger that they stop playing with toys. And that was part of the inspiration. I felt for the toys. I thought they can't be good for them. So that was what was interesting, is how do they deal with it?
The movie is about how the toys deal with the new technology, right?
Yeah, and it's not going away. I mean, that's what made me choose it, because I noticed this 7 years ago that the devices were around, and the pandemic happened, and it really sort of cemented. I think it's like television, it's not leaving the house.
So the whole premise of the movie is that the toys are threatened by this tablet.
In particular, Jessie's threatened, because Jessie's now running the room for this girl, Bonnie, and it's how she deals with this problem differently than if Woody were running the room.
What's the name of the tablet? ¿Cuál es el nombre de la tablet?
Lily pad.
Lily pad, así se llama la tableta.
Which is something a frog sits on in English.
Is Lily pad a bad character? Is like Darth Vader?
Well,
Darth Vader.
They think so. They think so, but I didn't want it to be so simple. I think she's built to try to help the next phase of a child's life to socialize, and she's trying to figure that out and do the best she can.
She's the enemy of the toys because
in the beginning,
al principio es la enemiga de los juguetes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. It gets very messy for a while.
What was the biggest challenge to make this movie, to make it relevant, to make all the characters relevant?
The biggest challenge of all the Toy Story movies is finding something that's truthful and timeless about childhood, because the backdrop is always about growing up. And this one's about how hard it is to make a friend. I mean, we all remember when we had to risk sticking our neck out, like asking somebody to dance if they would want to play with us.
What's the difference between your sons and daughters and your grandchildren? ¿Cuál es la diferencia que ves en los niños que fueron tus hijos y ahora tus nietos?
Well, my kids were the early generation where the computer just started to come into the house. It's fascinating to watch my 2-year-old grandson already be familiar with the devices his parents are holding.
On your trailer, you show that at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Where the computer just starts showing what it can do.
It's like you're hypnotized. But you look like that too when you're looking at something, like we all do.
So part of what's appealing about Toy Story is that, yes, it's made for kids, but it's awesome for adults.
Yeah, we never stop thinking like immature children.
What is it like to work as part of Pixar?
It can be as fun as you think. Best comparison is it's like an Olympic village. Well, you're working with the best athletes that are always trying to top themselves. You have to work extra to get everybody to calm down a little.
How is it like when you begin a movie, you have a meeting, we have a new project, and you start talking about ideas?
Yeah, you have to pitch it. You have to be, at the end of the day, you're a storyteller, and you got to tell a good story. And I have to start like it's like we're two people at a bar and telling you a good enough story to keep you interested.
So you have to convince the team in order for the story to be made?
I don't think I have to convince them. It's more, we're all storytellers that like a challenge. And part of the work is figuring out how to make the story so good that you'll want to watch it. So it's more about inspiring the potential of solving something. And then that keeps us busy for 3 to 4 years.
You take 3 to 4 years to create the story?
Every movie is like going to college. So I have a degree in Toy Story 5.
Just creating the story.
That's why I'm old and I have a grandson.
Oh God. So then after 3 or 4 years of creating the story, then you start producing this.
No. Same time. Same time.
So
we're sort of building the house while we're making the plans at the same time. It's long.
And is this a full-time thing? Is that like the only thing you do for 3 to 4 years?
Especially in the last 2 years. That's when you're very, very busy.
There's no other projects. Nothing else.
Well, for me, but we have at least 5 films at a time. time at Pixar, which is a very large company.
You started your career 36 years ago.
36 years ago, I was hired by a small company called Pixar. It was before there was even the term startup, and I was the 9th employee.
You studied in Los Angeles?
I studied character animation at California Institute of the Arts, or CalArts. The degree was character animation.
So you learned to animate the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, because when I got hired at Pixar, it was this new thing that nobody knew about called computer graphics.
So you were one of the first, or the...
Yeah, one of the first companies to ever do it. Pixar basically invented computer graphics.
So you moved to San Francisco.
Yes.
And, well, to Marin County, where Pixar is, right?
Yes, which is a beautiful place. So that's one of the secret advantages of Pixar is that we're not in Hollywood.
Yeah, the mentality in Northern California is very different.
We go to the restaurant, nobody is an actor trying to sell a script, or nobody else is working in the business, and so it's very well-rounded.
You've been there for 36 years, and you wrote WALL-E.
I wrote WALL-E, I wrote Finding Nemo, I wrote Finding Dory, I wrote with other writers on all the other Toy Story movies.
Buscando a Nemo, Buscando a Dory, WALL-E, y con los otros escritores todas las historias de Toy Story. So how did you come up with WALL-E? ¿Cómo se te ocurrió WALL-E? I really love, you made me cry so much with WALL-E.
As far back as Toy Story, right in our last year, we realized, this movie may be good enough that we get to make another movie. So we had a lunch and we thought, what's some other ideas? And I said, I think we could do something with fish. Somebody said we could do something with monsters. And then somebody in the group, it was just 4 of us, thought, what about a robot? And then we immediately, I can't explain it, thought, what if it was a janitor type robot stuck on a trash planet, left on by accident? And then we never talked about it again for another 5 or 6 years. Even while I was making Finding Nemo, I couldn't stop thinking about this lonely little robot. And when something doesn't leave my head for years, I know it's worth pursuing. So that was my next idea to start.
I think the magic of WALL-E is that at some point we've all felt loneliness.
Yeah, exactly.
So bad.
Well, when we were working on Toy Story 2, we were in a recording session with Tom Hanks.
Estamos grabando con
and
Tom
he
Hanks.
was doing a movie called Castaway at the time,
claro.
which we didn't know what it would be, but he was explaining to us that man's greatest fear was loneliness. And I also never forgot that. So I knew that would be a very powerful subject with the robot movie.
Yeah, and then he falls in love with Eva.
Yeah, yep.
Eva.
You've seen this a lot.
I've seen it a lot. Because we've all fallen in love.
Yes.
At some point, like WALL-E fell in love for Eva.
You could argue that the robots are more human than the humans in that movie.
It was a huge success.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. I mean, it's very dear to my heart.
And Nemo, how'd you come up with, who came up with the idea of having one of the, what do you call him?
The little fin.
The little fin.
Cinema is visual storytelling. I wanted to make sure that there was a reminder every time the father looked at his son of the tragedy.
So that's how you come up with that little fin. Wow. It's fascinating.
Yeah, when you have 4 years to work on something, you have a lot of time to come up with ideas.
You can't come up with these kind of ideas if you're stressed out and overworked.
That's why you try to make the atmosphere fun, even though it can be stressful at times. And it's a team sport. It's not me with a vision and conducting somebody else to do it. It's me working with a group of other artists and inspiring each other. Even though it's hard work, you're with a team and you're really feeding off each other and you're entertaining each other.
So what's next?
Sleep.
I know you cannot reveal it, but is there any other story in your mind like WALL-E, like it's been hanging in there?
Pieces. It's like my mind is always grocery shopping with ingredients, but I just wait until it comes to me. I don't force it. If I get a lot of sleep, it'll come to me.
That makes sense, my friend. That makes sense.